Hi, my name is Mo, and today we're not cooking, simply due to the fact that my mom has a lot of leftovers in the fridge and she was gonna get mad at me if I started cooking. And also, we've been remodeling our bedrooms for the past 3 days, so I haven't really had time to sit down and cook a meal. And also, my mom's been working in the office, in the kitchen. Our kitchen is an open concept, so it kind of mixes with the living room. So she's been working in there, and it's really loud, so I didn't really want to disrupt her. Anyways, let's go into today's video. So instead of cooking pancakes, which was my original plan, it's going to be called Pancakes and Hot Takes. Today it's Ball Fakes and Hot Takes, and you're going to be watching some of my gaming clips. These are atrocious, but it is what it is. Anyways, yes, hot takes. Let's get right into it. Number one, I hate talking stages. I hate them with a passion. And you're probably wondering, why do you hate talking stages? They're stupid. Why do I have to talk to a girl for 3 months to get to know her? Why do I have to talk to her for 2 weeks? It's like, if I meet you and I like you, let me take you out next week. And if I don't like you, I won't take you out anymore. Dating and a relationship are two different things. Because then, when you guys are dating, later on in the relationship, you're like, I want to start taking you seriously. And that's when you start moving forward. That's how it's always been up until 2022. I feel like talking stages have ruined the concept of first dates and really getting to know someone, because now you're just texting them, so you already know all the basics. So when you have that first date, it's gonna be dry, it's gonna be boring. At that point, you're just linking. Okay, so it's hookup culture. Speaking of hookup culture, I hate it, but at the same time I don't, because it's just there's some people that really don't want a relationship, and that's fair. But people have needs, So it's just what do you do? Do you sit there and abide to the moral humanities of not hooking up with random people, or do you provide for yourself? I'm just saying. Anyways, on to my next one. Social media has ruined men and women's concept of dating. Women are delusional in terms of what they like in men. I saw this one TikTok, and this girl was like, he has to be 6'4" in order for me to date him. And people were this guy was like, yeah, good luck with that. And she replied to the comment and said, well, sorry for having a type. Your type is 0.1% of the population. 0.01% of the population. And you call that a type? Come on now, what are we doing? At this point, Coco Jones is my wife. That's it. It's I'm delusional. It's not possible, okay? The average man is 5'9", 200 pounds. You're not going to get a man that's 6'4" and jacked. It's not common. It's not normal. It's just odd. It's awkward. It's weird. Anyways, yes, it has ruined our views. And it's the same with men. Men want a stunning 10 out of 10 woman, but she can't have any bodies. And she has to be the same age as you, or maybe older. Which means she's 26 at 10 out of 10 and is a virgin. I can understand it, but at the same time, that's also unrealistic. Unless she's religious. If she's not religious, it's unrealistic. Okay, let's just be honest here. Anyways, on to my next point. We're gonna dive into sports a little bit here. The Heisman race just finished. There were two clear contenders. It was either going to be Ashton Jeanty or Travis Hunter. The majority of the nation wanted Ashton Jeanty, and the people and the popular vote went to Ashton Jeanty, but Travis Hunter won. Now, I can understand that. There's a case for both people. You have a generational running back and a generational two-way player. Now, we've seen it before, and that person wasn't good at that. They weren't good at both positions. They were all right, above average. Travis Hunter is above average at wide receiver and corner. Now, that being said, Ashton Jeanty not only took his team to the 4 seed or the 3 seed in the college football playoff, but he was his team. Okay, he ran for 300 yards against Oregon. You're probably thinking, well, that's one game though, and that's one team. Well, that one team was number 1 in the nation, and it was basically blew out all of their competition. So, I feel like that's pretty impressive. That's a pretty good thing to add to your Heisman resume. And we haven't And we're also in a very pass-heavy era in terms of football and college football. So being able to run that many yards in an era where quarterbacks want to pass first, unless you're wing T, which is so weird, that's really impressive. It's like averaging 40 on mid-range shots in a three-point shooting era, which is what we're in right now. Okay, sports are over with. What else do we need to talk about? There's so much stuff to talk about. There's so many interesting views and morals. You can't expect there to be good in the world. Okay, the world isn't supposed to be a happy place, honestly. That's a very hot take. The world is not supposed to be a happy place. And you're probably thinking, well, Makisa, yes it is. I mean, people are supposed to be good. But that's how you were raised, yes. But you put 8 billion people basically on a rock, give them free will and various different religious beliefs and faith systems, and you expect them all to be good. How does that work? Make it make sense. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody that does something wrong is right, because that's just how they were raised. There's obviously objective rights and wrongs. But what I will say is, you can't expect everyone to think the same way that you do or have the same morals. Like, I can't expect, like how in other countries people can have more than one wife. Yeah, in America that's absurd. If you're Mormon, that's normal because that's how you're raised. Or if you're like in the Middle East, that's like, oh, that's crazy talk. You can't do that. I mean, yeah, you can. It's immoral to Americans in some other countries, but if you're raised in a society and your mom was like, yeah, your dad has 2 other wives, that means you're just raised in a society where marriage isn't like coveted as much as it is in the U.S., even though the divorce rates are like 60%. But marriage isn't as coveted in other countries as it is in the U.S., so you can't get mad at other people for having more than one wife. I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to sit here and tell them they're a bad person. They're just raised differently, right? Also, now we're going to get into the more sciencey aspect of life. I hate when people, specifically with the movie Interstellar, people say, oh, I hate that movie. I'm like, why? Like, it just didn't make sense. Okay, read a book. Read a book about physics and it'll make sense. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not smart, but I understood it. It's pretty simple. See, I hate when people say they don't like something simply because they don't understand it. If you take the time to learn and understand it, and then you don't like it, it's perfectly understandable. But if you're just like, oh, it doesn't make sense, I hate it. Are you ever going to learn in life? No, you're not. You're going to spend your whole life wondering. Okay? You're going to spend your whole life wondering, oh, what's this, and this? Just like, well, you didn't want to learn it, so now you don't know. Look at you, idiot. Speaking of life, I hate that people take life so seriously. And I'm not saying like, go jump to your death and call it a day. I'm just saying, like, just live, bro. Stop worrying about what other people think. And you're probably wondering, well, but a lot of those people are like my friends and my close friends, and of course I care about their opinions. Well, yeah, you do. But unless you're doing something that's objectively and morally wrong, if you do something, the world's going to keep spinning round and round and round. Okay, you can make a corny song. So what? The world's just going to keep spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Nobody cares. Okay, no one's going to reject your college admissions because you decided to explore your creativity. Like what? That doesn't make sense. Like when I was a kid, I would be like, oh, I don't want to do this because what if I get made fun of? And it's just like, so what? So what? People are just going to keep going on about their life. They're going to forget about it. Okay, yeah, you might remember forever, but people are going to forget about it. And they're not going to care. So you can't hold yourself back because you're more afraid of how others might view you or what others might think of you. You just gotta like go on about your day. Okay? If you have big plans, see them through. Okay? It's just like I have big plans for 2025, which I'll share with you guys. You know, like obviously I started this YouTube channel. This isn't normal for me. I'm not really I don't know, a content creator, I guess. I just do this for fun. But I started a YouTube channel. Okay, I was like, this is gonna be kind of weird, but it's whatever, who cares? And then I plan on, making music eventually later on down the road, going to college for artificial intelligence. Just like make 2025 your year, to be honest. People are like, oh, 2025 is gonna be my year, 2024 is gonna be my year. And it's just like they don't really do anything. But actually put in effort to make next year your year. Because then when you're going through the year and you're putting in effort and you see yourself succeeding in ways that you never could, guess what? It's because I wouldn't say you manifested it. I hate that term. I would just say it's because you put in effort. You worked all the time. It's all you have to do. It takes a little bit of hard work, but it's worth it in the end. It's like, yeah, sure, it's going to suck. But who cares? Okay? In the long run, it's going to be fun. Oh, I want to be a painter, but my art isn't good. Okay, then keep working on it. Right? People say, oh, well, Hitler got rejected from high school. Hitler's art was basic. That's the only reason why. It wasn't because he was a bad artist. Yes, he was a terrible person, but his art was just basic. That's all. If that's how you feel about some things that you do, then spice it up a little. Become more creative. See, another hot take I feel like is due to like AI being made and plagiarism being such a huge thing, I feel like a lot of people are lacking intelligence in terms of like school and such. Like I am too. Like for my econ final in high school, we were tasked to make a board game. Thankfully, the econ final was only 5 to 10% of our grade. I didn't do it, but I noticed my creativity doesn't fall under invention. So I was like, kind of sucks, but I'm not good at inventing things. I'm not gonna give you a good an A. I would have gotten worse than what he gave me. He gave me a 50 just because I participated in Glasgow. But had I turned in a game, it would have been like 20% at best. Right? So chase creativity. Don't chase normality, I guess, or being accepted by the masses. Chase being accepted by yourself. Because then when you accept yourself for who you are, you can then work to find other people like you. And as long as you don't change your personality to fit in with them, if they like you, then that means they like you for you. They don't like you for what they think you are. They like you for what you are. If you get what I'm saying. So I mean, life throws you lemons. You just have to learn how to make lemonade, to be honest. It's definitely interesting to see. Another thing is just live. Do spontaneous things if that's your thing. I wouldn't say go into hiding if that's your thing, because that's just, I don't know. You lose a lot of access, and you become out of touch with reality. But do things that push you out of your comfort zone, not too much. But if your friends are like, oh, you want to come hang out with us, and you're not a social person, so you usually say no. Say yes. What do you have to lose? You have people that want you to be around them, so they're happy. If your social battery runs out, don't make it a big deal. Just like kind of thug it out, and then when you get home, you'll be fine. But anyways, we're getting towards the end of our video, so thank you for listening and watching. Like and subscribe for more.